We're here after the morning walkthrough. We're with special teams coach Mike Priefer. I'll tell you what, the one thing I've always noticed about special teams, it gets forgotten by some, but it's amazing how much effort it takes to look effortless out there, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of effort involved, and we tell our players right when they get here that it's all about want to. They have to have a desire to play special teams, and you have to really want to be good at it and to work at all the techniques and fundamentals that we teach these guys.
You know, everybody talked about, obviously, we had a field goal issue at the end of the year, but we've got a really reliable kicker in there, and he comes right out to us and says, I'm the #1 kicker in the NFL, and I believe it. How important is that confidence for a bounce back?
Well, and it's not false confidence. He's not false bravado at all. He is very confident. He's very strong. He's stronger than he ever has been since he's been in the NFL. And I tell people all the time, we wouldn't have been in the position to almost win the game without him. You know, he had a great year for us. He made those 3 really tough kicks in that playoff game, and you know, we had one glitch, and we got to correct that glitch. We got to move on, and I think he's got the ability and the confidence to move forward from that.
And you talk about that. You always hear about quarterbacks have to have a short memory. That's the case for kickers and punters as well. How do you work with them to make sure they put it out of their mind? Just step forward and just move on?
Yeah, that's one of the things, or correct a mistake, and you know, if there's something small or little that we need to get better at and to work at, then we'll do that in practice. But you know, on game day, it might be something small, and we just tell them to move on. Whether it's a kickoff, a punt, or a field goal, PAT, anything like that. It's like any other position. You got to correct the mistake, and you got to move on and hope it doesn't happen again.
You want to look at kickoffs. Obviously, it's about, from your perspective, it's got to be a strategy. Is it always kick it out of the end zone if you can, or would you rather hang it up and try to pin them inside the 20?
Depends on the situation. It depends on the returner. It depends on how well we're covering kicks that day, or at that point in the year. And with the new kickoff rule, you know, you always want to give the ball at the 25. You're playing Aaron Rodgers. You give him an extra 5 yards every time. He's got a better opportunity to drive down and score. So we're going to have to pick and choose our spots, but you like to hang some of them high and a little bit shorter around the goal line and see what your cover team can do.
I know you've been down to the stadium. Any problems the new stadium presents as far as getting used to? I know it's a controlled environment, but you got a little sunlight in there. It might be a little different.
Absolutely. The sunlight, the shadows. You might have a situation where you know, you're looking up into the sun if it's a bright day. Yep. And I haven't figured that out yet because I was down there in about 3-4 weeks ago, and the sun's going to be different than it will be in September, October, November, and going forward. So that'll be the interesting thing. And then, of course, the turf's not real solid yet, but I think they're having a couple concerts. I'm a little sorry I'm missing both concerts, especially the Metallica concert, but that's okay. But no, I think the wooden platforms that they put below the stage and everything are going to push the turf down a little bit and harden it up a little bit, and I think that'll help.
Have you checked Cincinnati and Seattle, see if Metallica's there?
No, I haven't. If they were, I probably wouldn't have time to go see him play or go see him perform. I think that's an off-season type thing. But I did see The Lion King at Hennepin Theater downtown with my youngest daughter, Katie.
How was that?
That was great. And I love that's kind of a father-daughter thing we do every year.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things you talk special teams, people think kicker, punter. There's a lot more to it than that. You've got your actual coverage teams, you've got your blocking teams, and a lot of times you're filling that with rookies. How difficult is that to acclimate them into on their first year?
Well, the first thing is they probably haven't played special teams at least since maybe their freshman year in college or even in high school. And when they get here, obviously athleticism is there, and again, they have to have that want to. They need to be tough and disciplined, give great effort. They have to be a tough guy, both mentally and physically. So, and what we do is in this stage of the season, the OTAs, the minicamp, and then into training camp has all been fundamentals and techniques. Our schemes are very simple right now. We just want to get them fundamentally sound. I tell them, I said, look, use the techniques and fundamentals that we're giving you, and then take what God's given you and put the two together, and you'll be a good special teams player.
Well, you know, you've got the #1 kick return in the league in Cordero Patterson. But as a coach, do you have to say, hey, sometimes don't bring that out? What is his vision that he has to look at to say, I either take it or I take a knee?
And again, we talked before, and it's our kind of our pre-play routine. He comes to me and says, where do you want me? 6 yards deep, you know, want me to bring it out. Depends on, you know, if it's a line drive kick. If he's going too far to his left or right, may have to take it in or keep it in the end zone. So now with the new rule, philosophy changes a little bit too. If it's a situation where we're down 7, there's 3 minutes to go in the game, we might want to be aggressive. Let's take it out depending on the score. But we never want to just give up the ball, give the offense ball at the 17, 18-yard line, because you take it from 8, 9 deep. Even with Cordero Patterson, it's hard to bring it out depending on the hang time. So it's going to be a situational thing for us this year, but Cordero does a great job of listening and paying attention. He's very coachable. He's got to work on some things too. Obviously, ball security. He's got to make sure he maintains ball security at the end of every play. He's got to do a great job with his setting his returns up, setting his blockers up, and hitting the seam where we want him to hit it. So there's a lot of things he still needs to work on. He's still a young player.
Final question for you. Obviously, punting, big part of the game. What are you looking for this year from Jeff Locke, and what have you seen in training camp?
You know, he had a great spring, and he needed to because we put a little bit of pressure on him. We talked about bringing in a guy for camp. If he didn't have a good spring, he responded well, had a good spring. So the big thing with Jeff is we want him to be consistent. We're going indoors now. You have to be a consistent punter indoors. You have to be a consistent directional punter indoors. So, you know, that's what we're going to try to look for. We are going to look for, and hopefully he gives us this preseason.
And so far, he's answering that challenge.
Yeah, we've had just two. He was very inconsistent the first day. He was up and down, and he had a good day the 2 days ago, and he's going to punt tomorrow night. And that's a big day, big night for him tomorrow night. In the stadium with the crowd, a little bit of pressure on him. We're going to move the ball and put him in different situations and see how he responds.
Terrific. Listen, I appreciate you stopping by. We wish you the best of success in 2016.
Appreciate it.
From Mankato, I'm Tom Moore with Mike Priefer.